Welcome to Malice and Mystery, where shadows whisper and the unknown beckons. Enter a realm of spine-tingling horror, eerie mysteries, and chilling tales. From real-life paranormal encounters to unsolved enigmas and bone-chilling urban legends, we bring you the darkest stories from the depths of the unknown. Subscribe if you dare, and remember, some mysteries are best left unsolved. The most disturbing last photos taken before tragedy, true stories that will haunt you. The haunting allure of final moments. There is a peculiar, almost morbid fascination with the final moments captured before tragedy strikes. These photographs, often mundane in their composition, carry an eerie weight once viewed through the lens of hindsight. They are frozen fragments of time that serve as both a reminder of life, its fragility, and a haunting glimpse into the ordinary moments that precede the unimaginable. Whether it's a family vacation photo taken hours before a plane crash, or a candid shot shared on social media moments before a natural disaster, these images hold a dual power. They preserve joy while foreshadowing loss. The emotional impact of such photos lies in their stark contrast between normalcy and catastrophe. Smiling face, a serene landscape. Or a casual group pose can become unbearably poignant when paired with the knowledge of what follows. This juxtaposition forces viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about mortality and the unpredictability of fate. It's not just the subjects of these photos who are affected. Those who view them often feel an unsettling connection, as if peering into a moment suspended between life and death. This story delves into the unsettling world of such images, exploring how they shape our understanding of tragedy and memory through the lens of one particularly chilling collection. We will uncover the stories behind the snapshots, the lives lived, the choices made, and the irreversible consequences that followed. Each photograph serves as a portal into the past, inviting us to reflect on the thin lines separating the everyday from the extraordinary, and the fragile beauty of moments we so often take for granted. The first photograph, a family frozen in time. The first image in the collection is deceptively simpler family of four standing together on a sunlit pier. The shimmering expanse of a tranquil lake stretching out behind them. The father, dressed in a faded polo shirt, crouches slightly to match the height of his youngest child. A boy no older than 6, whose grin is wide enough to reveal a missing front tooth. Beside him stands the mother, her hair tousled by a gentle breeze, her arms wrapped protectively around their teenage daughter, who leans awkwardly against her side, caught mid-eye roll but unable to suppress a faint smile. At first glance, this could be any family vacation snapshot, the kind shared countless times on social media platforms without a second thought. The sunlight catches the water in dazzling ripples, and the distant outline of a boat hints at leisurely plans ahead. Yet, the caption beneath the photo betrays its darker significance. Last photo taken before the storm. The storm in question wasn't metaphorical, was literal. Hours after this picture was snapped, a sudden squall swept across the lake, capsizing several boats, including the one the family had boarded shortly after posing for this photo. None of them survived. What makes this image so profoundly unsettling is not just the knowledge of what came next, but the deceptive calmness it radiates. The laughter captured in their expressions, the casual ease of their poses, that all feels like a cruel trick played by fate. For those who knew the family, the photo takes on an even more haunting dimension. Friends recall how the father had joked about finally getting everyone to smile for a change, while the daughter had reluctantly agreed to pose only after her mother promised ice cream afterward. These small details transform the image from a generic family portrait into a deeply personal artifact, brimming with unspoken promises and interrupted futures. What draws people to this photograph is not just its tragic backstory, but the way it encapsulates the fragility of human existence. In that single frame, there is love, irritation, humor, and hope, all emotions rendered infinitely more poignant by the knowledge that they were fleeting. Viewers cannot help but wonder, did they sense anything amiss as they stood there? Could they have imagined that this moment of togetherness would become their last? This tension between innocence and foreboding is what makes the image so compelling and so disturbing. It invites reflection on the randomness of tragedy and the quiet, unassuming ways in which life can slip away. For many, it becomes a mirror, forcing them to confront their own mortality and the precariousness of the moments they too often dismiss as ordinary. The second photograph. A young couple's joy cut short. The second photograph in the series captures a young couple in the throes of celebration. Their faces illuminated by the soft glow of fairy lights strung across a bustling city rooftop. Dressed in casual yet stylish attire, they stand close together. Their bodies angled slightly toward one another, as though drawn by an invisible force. The man, wearing a leather jacket and a carefree smirk, holds up a glass of champagne, while the woman, clad in a flowing dress, clutches a bouquet of wildflowers. Her laughter seems to echo beyond the frame, a sound almost tangible in its warmth. Behind them, the city skyline glitters like a sea of stars, its vibrant energy mirroring their own. To the untrained eye, this could easily be mistaken for a romantic evening shared by two people deeply in love, perhaps celebrating an anniversary or a milestone. And indeed, that's precisely what it was, an impromptu toast to their 3-year relationship, marked by a spontaneous decision to visit the rooftop bar where they had shared their first date. Friends who saw the photo later described it as quintessentially them, effortlessly cool, endlessly joyful, and full of life. But the caption beneath the image tells a different story. Our last night together. Hours after this photo was taken, the couple left the rooftop bar and hailed a taxi to return home. En route, their vehicle was struck by a drunk driver, killing both instantly. The contrast between the vibrancy of the photograph and the abruptness of their deaths is almost unbearable. Their smiles, so radiant and alive, now seem like a cruel paradox. A taunting reminder of the happiness that was stolen from them in an instant. What makes this image particularly haunting is the intimacy it conveys. Unlike the first photograph, which depicted a familial bond, this one captures the private joy of two people deeply connected to one another. The tilt of the woman's head, the way the man's fingers graze the stem of his glass, as all imbued with a quiet tenderness that speaks to the depth of their relationship. To look at this photo is to feel as though you've intruded upon a sacred moment, one that was never meant to be shared with the world under such tragic circumstances. For those who knew the couple, the image carries an additional layer of sorrow. Friends recount how the man had teased the woman about her inability to hold her liquor, while she playfully retaliated by calling him out for his terrible dance moves. These anecdotes, shared in happier times, now feel like shards of glass piercing the heart. The photo becomes not just a record of their final hours, but a testament to the life they built together, life that was cut devastatingly short. The emotional resonance of this image lies in its ability to evoke both joy and grief simultaneously. It forces viewers to grapple with the randomness of fate and the fragility of human connections. One cannot help but wonder, did they sense, even fleetingly, that this might be their last moment together? Or were they, like so many of us, lulled into the illusion of permanence, believing they had all the time in the world? In its quiet, unassuming way, this photograph serves as a stark reminder of the impermanence of everything we hold dear. It challenges us to cherish the people we love, to savor the fleeting moments of joy, and to confront the uncomfortable truth that life can end in the blink of an eye. The third photograph. A solitary moment before disaster, the third photograph in the collection is starkly different from the previous two. Where the earlier images were filled with the warmth of companionship and shared joy, this one is defined by solitude and introspection. It depicts a lone hiker perched on the edge of a jagged cliff, silhouetted against a fiery orange sunset that spills across the horizon like molten gold. The figure, clad in weathered hiking gear, sits cross-legged, gazing outward with an expression that suggests equal parts awe and contemplation. A camera rests beside them, its strap trailing loosely over one shoulder. hinting at the moment just before or after the shutter was pressed. At first glance, the image evokes a sense of serenity, a solitary communion with nature that many aspire to experience. The vast expanse of sky and earth stretches endlessly, dwarfing the lone figure and emphasizing the insignificance of human presence against the grandeur of the natural world. Yet, this peaceful tableau is undercut by the chilling context revealed in the caption. Taken moments before the fall, the hiker, an experienced adventurer named Alex, had embarked on what was supposed to be a routine trek through a remote mountain range. Known among friends for their fearless spirit and deep appreciation for the outdoors, Alex often documented their journeys through photography, capturing the raw beauty of untamed landscapes. This particular photo was intended to be part of a series showcasing the breathtaking vistas of the region. Instead, it became Alex's final self-portrait. Minutes after the image was captured, a sudden rock slide dislodged a portion of the cliffside, sending Alex plummeting hundreds of feet below. Search and rescue teams later recovered the camera, its memory card intact, preserving the haunting final frame. The isolation of the scene both in the physical sense and in its emotional tone adds an extra layer of poignancy to the tragedy. There is no laughter here, no shared glances or tender gestures, only the quiet stillness of a person alone with their thoughts, unaware of the impending danger. What makes this photograph particularly disturbing is its duality. On one hand, it embodies the profound connection between humanity and nature, a theme celebrated in countless works of art and literature. On the other, it underscores the perilous unpredictability of the natural world, reminding viewers that even the most serene environments can harbor hidden threats. The cliff, so majestic and inviting in the photograph, transforms into a symbol of fragility and risk when viewed through the lens of hindsight. For those who knew Alex, the image is especially difficult to reconcile. Friends describe them as someone who thrived on adventure, someone who approached life with a fearless curiosity that inspired others to step outside their comfort zones. To see them immortalized in such a vulnerable moment, poised on the precipice, both literally and figuratively, to confront the harsh reality that even the boldest spirits are not immune to fate's capricious whims. The emotional weight of this photograph lies in its stark simplicity. It strips away the distractions of companionship and celebration, leaving only the individual and their surroundings. In doing so, it forces viewers to confront their own mortality in a deeply personal way. Unlike the previous images, which invited collective mourning for lost relationships, this one compels introspection. It asks, what would your final moment look like? Would you, like Alex, be found in a place of beauty and solitude, or somewhere entirely unexpected? Ultimately, this photograph serves as a sobering reminder of the fine line between wonder and peril, between life and death. It challenges us to appreciate the majesty of the world around us, while remaining acutely aware of its dangers. In its silence, it speaks volumes about the fleeting nature of existence and the unpredictable ways in which our stories can come to an end. The fourth photograph. A celebration overshadowed the fourth photograph in the collection, captures the vibrant energy of a street festival in full swing. Strings of multicolored lanterns crisscross overhead, casting patterns on the cobblestone streets filled with revelers. At the center is a young woman with intricate face designs in gold and crimson, holding a sparkler as its embers trace arcs in the night air. Around her, people dance, laugh, and cheer, their energy palpable even in the static image. This photo exudes a sense of community and shared joy. The festival, an annual tradition in a small coastal town, was known for its parades, live music, and fireworks displays. For many, it was a night of unbridled celebration. The young woman, identified as Mia, had traveled from a neighboring city with friends. Her excitement is evident in every detail: the sparkle in her eyes, her eager posture, and the smudge of glitter on her cheek from an earlier craft booth. Yet beneath this vibrant scene lies a tragedy. As the festival closed, a catastrophic fire broke out in a food stall. Spreading through the narrow streets and engulfing buildings, panic ensued as flames trapped dozens of people. Mia, separated from her friends, was among those who did not survive. The contrast between the jubilation in the photograph and the devastation that followed is harrowing. The lanterns that once bathed the streets in warm light now evoke flames. The laughter in the image feels like a ghostly echo against the backdrop of screams that soon filled the air. For those who attended the festival, the photograph is a painful reminder of how quickly joy can turn to horror. Witnesses recall the surreal transition from celebration to catastrophe, initially mistaking the fire's crackle for fireworks. Mia, so radiant and carefree, becomes a focal point for their grief, a symbol of everything lost in those chaotic hours. Friends and family remember Mia as someone vibrant, adventurous, and curious. She spent the evening marveling at performers, sampling local delicacies, and snapping photos to document the experience. Her enthusiasm was infectious, drawing others into her orbit and leaving a mark on those around her. Seeing her immortalized in this moment of elation, knowing what awaited her, confronts the randomness of fate. The photograph's emotional impact extends beyond its immediate context, resonating with anyone who has attended a public gathering. It forces viewers to consider the fragility of such moments, where safety and danger can blur instantly. The crowded streets, so full of life, take on a sinister quality when imagined as a labyrinth of peril. Ultimately, this photograph serves as a reminder of the dual nature of human gathering spaces of connection and vulnerability. It challenges us to cherish these experiences while remaining mindful of their impermanence. In its vibrancy and tragedy, it encapsulates the complexity of life itself, fleeting, unpredictable, and precious. Reflections on Fragility and Legacy. As the collection of photographs concludes, the weight of these images impacts the viewer. Each snapshot highlights the delicate balance between life's beauty and fragility. From a family's final portrait on a sunlit pier to a hiker on the edge of eternity, these moments remind us how swiftly the ordinary can turn irreversible. Together, they form a mosaic of human experience, joy, connection, solitude, and celebration framed by tragedy's shadow. These photographs are not just artifacts of loss, but testaments to the lives within them. They urge reflection on the legacies we leave behind, emphasizing the quiet, unassuming moments that define our humanity. A shared laugh, a fleeting embrace, or pausing to admire a sunset become magnified in significance, urging recognition of their profound value. The emotional impact lingers, planting seeds of introspection. These images challenge us to confront mortality, fate's unpredictability, and the importance of cherishing the present. They transcend mere photographs, becoming mirrors reflecting our vulnerabilities and aspirations. Ultimately, they remind us that life, in all its fragility, is a gift to be held gently, celebrated fiercely, and remembered deeply. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this video intriguing. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay updated with more mysterious tales. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and stay cautious.